How's it going, everybody? Today we are taking a break from all of the nether stuff that's been going on with all my videos recently. So let's take a break and head on into the end game. What do I mean by the end game? What does that mean? I don't understand. What I mean by that is if you've been playing Minecraft for a while, maybe you've already defeated the dragon. Maybe you've already explored all around your base and you're like, I'm getting kind of bored. What do I do? Or perhaps you just want to step up your own Minecraft game. Maybe you're playing on a server and you want to impress some friends. What are some things to build, make, and do in Minecraft after you've been playing for a while and you want to step it up? So here we are inside of Minecraft and I have some statues made. Ooh, I carved them myself. Obviously, I spawned them in. I didn't actually make statues, okay? We could be honest about that one. So the Wither, moves. The Elder Guardian moves, but the Ender Dragon is like actually a statue. Like it's kind of creepy in a way. So we're gonna start off this discussion of things that elite players do by talking about things to do. So we're gonna break it up into 3 categories: things to do, things to get, and things to build. I hope you're a player that likes things. So what are some fun activities to do? Well, obviously it would be to make sure that you have had the experience of killing every single boss level entity in the game. The dragon, which is in the end, of course, that's a whole process in itself to find the gateway, the end gate portal, and then go through that and then fight the dragon and not die in the end, and then get the dragon egg and all of that jazz. Next in my monument lineup, but not necessarily next in our hearts, the Elder Guardian. Obviously finding an ocean monument and defeating all 3 Elder Guardians to make sure that you can actually start to mine out that ocean monument and get some prismarine. That's a pretty big accomplishment, and I feel like that's something that gets ignored by a lot of players nowadays. To be honest, the ocean monument is probably the least valued monument in the game. Like, there's not really a ton in there other than sponges and some cool lighty blocks, the sea lanterns, and gold. I mean, who needs gold? Am I right? Wait, the nether! I feel like most players think of the ocean monument as a little bit of a pain, but hey, it's there to have fun with, so go in there, get your night vision potions and your aqua affinity breath stuff and do it. I feel like it's a fun and a very different way to play the game because you really do need to prepare a lot. I feel like you need to prepare more for the ocean monument than you do the end, because the end is just a straight battle. The ocean monument, you got to make sure you got the potions and all the extra stuff. Moving on to the Wither, of course, this massive boss fight is always fun. Now, if you're going to do this in the open world, remember that the Wither can get away from you very quickly and can basically escape, and then you're having to track down this Wither. I always suggest fighting a Wither underground, dig down, or if you're someone who wants to, have the fight not be a fight at all, you could use, there's a whole bunch of techniques on how to kill a Wither without basically any battle at all. Obviously, the Wither is amazing to destroy because you get that amazing nether star, and then you can make a beacon with that. Out of these 3 bosses, the one that actually drops something that is the coolest would definitely be the Wither, although the one that you want to kill in order to actually progress in the game would be the dragon, because once you kill the dragon, then you can get some crazy stuff, which we will talk about later on in the things to get category. Moving on, in things to do, I would suggest that you make a fantastic map of the area around your base. Obviously, I haven't built a base here, but if I had, this map would be able to show me the surrounding areas, and I've gone ahead and added labels onto the map as well. I feel like this is something that most people don't do, but it is so satisfying. If for some reason you forgot how to make a map, throw a compass and a crafting table and surround it with paper, then you will be given an empty map. You can click on that map and then it will switch into the actual thing that you can hold in your hand. Before that, it's just like, I guess you're still holding it in your hand technically, but you're not actually looking at it. Then use a cartography table to change that map around. If you add extra paper into to there, it will zoom the map out. If you were to add another blank map, it will duplicate that map. But to get the effect that we have right here, where it's very, very zoomed out. So if I just take a look at this map, you can see that the first map that we had was very, very close. This map, a little bit zoomed out. This is actually zoomed out one more level. So we threw that in there one more time. There we go. Zoom it out one more time. And then bam, this is the same scale as that map. You could keep going if you would like. It just keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller until it's like, oh yeah, this is itty bitty. That's the first step, is to get the scale that you want. Obviously, if it is more zoomed in on the map, you're gonna need to make more of them, a bigger wall. By the way, this is just item frames that are holding those maps there. Also, if you make it more zoomed out, then you're gonna have to traverse a much bigger distance. So there's like this distance right here on this way zoomed out map. Here it is zoomed in. It's like, zoom! Holy moly, you're going so fast. I'm like a little snail. And this map is so big. So the scale of your map definitely matters. After you have chosen the scale and filled out the complete map, you can actually use banners that you have renamed in an anvil to make these really, really cool markers. So over here, I'm gonna go try to find this igloo. Ah, there it is. So right here, this is a banner which has the name of igloo because I used a anvil to rename it. So you just throw that in there, throw it in there, and it will keep whatever color is the base banner. So if I wanted to say this is Chad's base, I can go ahead and throw this down, grab the map, and click it. There you go. And now I have two banners really close to each other. Well, I don't want this igloo one anymore. Click that one and it removes it. So now it says Chad's base, which is really, really cool. And not a lot of people know about it. Also, after you do something like that, it will totally update on any map that you have in an item frame as well. Now, to make sure that they do that linking, the map linking, you do need, that's when you need to make sure to use the cartography table to duplicate a map so that you could have one on a wall and one in your hand and they're the exact same map. Moving on to things to get. So we did things to do. Now we're on to things to get. This one I almost feel is too obvious, but we're going to say this anyway, is God tier armor. Some amazing armor for you to have in your game. And this armor I feel like is some of the best that you can have. So let's just go through it. Everything has protection 4 on it. Everything has unbreaking 3 on it. Everything has mending on it, except when you start getting into the helmet and shoes, pants, boots, what are they called? That's when your enchantments start to differ. So protection, unbreaking, and mending on everything, but on the helmet specifically, you want to make sure that you're going to have aqua affinity. That'll mean that you can mine up and dig up things underwater at the exact same speed that you do on land, and respiration 3, which will mean that you can hold your breath for a lot longer. On your boots, you're going to want to make sure that you have feather falling 4, or at least I do, because I fall and die a lot. And Depth Strider 3. Depth Strider 3 will mean that you can move and walk in the water basically as fast as you do on land, so you're not sluggishly moving through the water. That'll obviously mean that you'll survive a lot longer, taking a lot less damage, and look stylish while doing it. Next, obviously, Elytra. Elytra is definitely going to be on this list because it is such an incredible tool for you to use to move around super duper quickly. Using Elytra and firework rockets, you are able to zoom around. And I'm not exactly sure why my fireworks aren't making any noise, but they are. And using this will allow you to explore further, go to the end and find more in-cities, have bases that are very far apart and not need to worry about any type of nether tunnels or nether hubs to get around. You can just easily fly from one spot to another, and it makes moving around in Minecraft very, very nice. Shulker boxes, I feel like, are in basically the same category because these are also in the end. If you're already getting Elytra, you're basically already collecting shulker shells to get shulker boxes. And if you didn't know, where have you been? Shulker boxes will keep the inventory of whatever is in them whenever you pick it up. Unlike chests, which will drop everything on the ground, this is a mobile inventory for you to take from one place to another. Makes everything more convenient. The last thing I feel like you need to get is, of course, a beacon. If you have a beacon, you know that you are an elite player. You know that you have really made it far in the game, and it adds so much convenience. Oh. I was afraid that wasn't gonna work for a moment. I think for noob players or people who haven't been playing Minecraft for very long, I don't think that they realize just how important a beacon can be when trying to accomplish really, really large tasks. Having things like regeneration and haste in order to mine out a huge area is basically required if you want to make a hole all the way down to bedrock that's any like actually large size. So I have an efficiency 5 pick and an efficiency 5 shovel with the haste 2 beacon, and you can just see how absurdly fast, remember I am in survival, not in creative, just absurdly fast this is. Oh my gosh, it's instant break. And then the same thing is true with a diamond pick, is you just kind of go crazy with this thing and instantly mine everything. So you need these things if you're going to make a like gigantic terraforming changes to the world. You got to have a beacon. We have moved locations from that single player world onto the multiplayer server that I have for my Twitch streams to show you some of the crazy things that you need to build if you're going to be an elite player, because I don't want to build it in single player when I've already built it like in the multiplayer. By the way, you can see that I have taken my own advice and I have a whole bunch of these other things all in survival that I'm talking about in the videos. So I practice what I preach. First on the things to build list would be a nether hub with some amazing ice in order to move from one location to another. We're actually in the nether right now. You can hear some ghasts around, but ice will allow you to move very, very quickly from one spot to another. If I could actually like point in the correct direction here. Pro tip, look where you want to go, place it down, it'll place in the correct area, and then don't touch the keyboard. Holy moly. And you can see just how quickly you move from one spot to another if you are boating on ice. This will allow you to move thousands and thousands and thousands of blocks in the overworld inside of the nether because of the block ratio that you move so many blocks in the nether compared to the overworld. Next on things that you have to build would obviously be farms in order to get a lot of basic materials. Right here we have an iron farm that is running. I've actually showed how to build this in a few OMG crafts. You can also see a few areas where there are darkness farms, which would allow you just to get every type of mob because they spawn in the dark. So you can get lots of gunpowder and bones and everything like that, but also a prismarine farm. If you find an ocean monument, clear that thing out of there and create a cool grinder of prismarine. And although I don't feel like this list includes this because it's so like, I almost feel like this is kind of a noob thing, but obviously an AFK fish farm, it's a farm, but I don't feel like that's an elite player thing. I feel like everybody should have one of those. So there you go. That is my list of some things that you have to do if you're looking for some inspiration, you're looking for a new project, or you've been playing for a while and just need the next thing. Thank you so much for watching this episode of OMG Craft. Seriously, you guys are fantastic. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big old thumbs up. Also, make sure you subscribe for future videos, tips, tricks, tutorials, and spotlights here on OMG Craft. And I'll see you next time. Bye.